China successfully tests Russia's S-400 missile air defense system. China has successfully tested the advanced S-400 air defense system imported from Russia, for which India also signed up recently despite concerns over threat of sanctions from the US. It was the first time the People's Liberation Army, PLA, tested the system since it received the last shipments of the weaponry from Russia in July under a $3 billion contract signed in 2015. China's People's Liberation Army Rocket Force last month tested the S-400 Triumph air defense system, successfully shooting down a simulated ballistic target almost 250 km away and moving at the supersonic speed of 3 km per second, Hong Kong-based South China Morning Post reported on Thursday, quoting Russian media reports. Details of the location of the test have not been disclosed. India signed a $5 billion deal with Russia to buy the same system in October this year despite concerns over threat of sanctions under the Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act, CAATSA, instituted by the U.S. Congress on arms purchases from Russia. India wants the long-range missile systems to tighten its air defense mechanism, particularly along the 3,488 km long border with China. S-400 is known as Russia's most advanced long-range surface-to-air missile defense system. China was the first foreign buyer to seal a government-to-government deal with Russia in 2014 to procure the lethal missile system. Moscow has already started delivery of an undisclosed number of the S-400 missile systems to Beijing. Russia says the S-400 is a cutting-edge air defense system that can detect and shoot down targets including ballistic missiles, enemy jets and drones up to 600 km away at an altitude between 10 meters and 27 kilometers. The system can simultaneously shell 36 targets moving at a speed of up to 4,800 meters per second with 72 ground-to-air missiles. Commenting on China's first test, Beijing-based military expert Li Ji said the reports showed that Moscow wanted to underscore the relationship at a time when the US was at loggerheads with both Russia and China. Despite pressure from the US, the Russian military will increase its cooperation with the PLA in areas such as missiles, shipbuilding, and other sectors, he said. China and Russia have significantly boosted their military ties in the past decade as both the countries compete with the US for regional and global influence. Song Zhongping, a Hong Kong-based military expert with a focus on the PLA, told the Post that the test was an advertisement by the Russian military to promote its S-400 system. But it's also clear that the PLA's rocket force is proficient in using the S-400 air defense system because they are already familiar with its predecessor, the S-300, which China has used since the 90s, Mr. Song said. He said it was important to differentiate between simulated ballistic target and real hypersonic missiles. Hypersonic weapons boast features such as maneuverability, gliding, for example, and they are almost impossible to intercept because they are traveling at such high speed, Mr. Song said.